Welcome back to The Price of Business. I am your host, Kevin Price, talking to you about you and your business. As you know, there's a lot of changes going on in the healthcare front, really some dramatic ones indeed. And we're going to talk to a company that's heavily involved in this called Virtual Health, and spending time with Adam Sabloff. And Adam, welcome to the program. First of all, tell us a little bit about both Virtual Health and your role in that company.
Hey, Kevin, how are you? I really appreciate you having me on. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Virtual Health, we started about 3 or 4 years ago. I'm the CEO, and I'm also the founder of the company. We saw a tremendous shift going on with healthcare. We realized that, there was a need to kind of, provide more efficient value-based care, and I think that the whole industry we've seen transform as a result of the ACA, more on the policy side, otherwise known as Obamacare. And, we're a technology platform that really allows organizations to take advantage of that.
Okay. And so kind of give us an idea of exactly what the standard paradigm was when it comes to such infrastructures before Obamacare and how you do things differently.
No, absolutely. So what happened is healthcare has traditionally been fee-for-service, right? And what that means is you have a lot of different silos, you have a lot of different providers, everyone defending their own turf. You're going from facility to facility, from specialist to specialist, and everywhere you go, they're billing somebody. They're billing Medicare, Medicaid, they're billing the commercial insurers, and it's almost let's try and grab as much as revenue as we can. Now, what Obamacare has created is transition to value-based care, and what that means is instead of you billing them, they basically provide payments based on incentives. So with silos joining together, they're forming these organizations called managed care organizations. And what happens is you get a certain amount of money per month per patient, and you have to care for an entire population using that fixed fee. So in order to make that work, you kind of have to have a very wide array of population demographics. You have to have young people, old people, people with conditions, people with money, people who are underprivileged, and basically, with that pot of money, you have to provide care for that entire, from A to Z, including medications, including doctor visits, including hospitalizations. And as an organization, if you're able to actually, save money and actually spend less than you're being given, then you become a profitable, successful organization, and you can enroll more members. If you end up not running an efficient organization and you spend a lot more money than you're making, then what happens is you get shut down and your populations get transferred to other organizations. So it really puts the incentive on these organizations to try and be more efficient, provide better care, and most importantly, keep these individuals out of the hospital, because it's the hospital that crushes the American healthcare system. And one night, one admission could cost $10,000 to $20,000, which could be more than you get over 3 months for a patient in this new value-based environment.
Yeah, just look at the difference in the price between those emergency rooms and those care centers, that offer very similar services, but it's like 10 times more expensive. Go to a hospital and you'll multiply it even more. It's really bizarre.
And that's exactly the transition we're seeing. So the idea is to keep people out of the hospital, provide more care into the home. I mean, one of the things we're seeing is the residents becoming an extension of the healthcare system. And you're seeing this with with a lot of the consolidation I was talking about before. You're seeing hospitals buying assisted living facilities where you have the elderly who are really one of the the people who need the health system the most. So they're trying to capture that so they can control the environment and provide better care into the home. And then as you mentioned, you're seeing pop-up clinics, you're seeing walk-in clinics, you're seeing a lot more home care. You're seeing these organizations try to extend their reach, and the key being keep them out of the hospital, keep them out of the doctor's office, keep their medications down. And most importantly, be proactive about your health. That's really the key. If you can head off an issue, or if you can keep somebody under control who may have congestive heart failure, and you're able to diagnose issues before they occur, then you could prevent very, very expensive admissions into the hospital system.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that's interesting. So are your clients primarily those who are trying to make sure they're in compliance with ACA, I assume, businesses of all types?
Yeah. Well, more so than that, I mean, what we are is we're a population health platform. That's a big buzzword today. And what you see is in population health, the idea being is breaking down all these silos. The one thing that doesn't change in a patient's care is the actual patient. So if you could put the patient in the center of the universe and the care team around them, instead of following the patient throughout the whole care continuum, you basically put the patient in the center, and you have the entire care team collaborating around that patient. You have providers, you have the insurance companies, you have the facilities, all working on a centralized platform with all the data being aggregated across all these silos. Because now, what's the advantage of having 7 different programs and having 8 different systems that don't talk to each other and having landlocked data that's all over the place? I mean, if you're really going to provide, this new level of care, what you need is data. And you need to pull this from as many sources as possible, and you need to have it in one centralized record, what we call the one source of truth. And from that one standardized place, you get a 360-degree view of the patient, and you're able to analyze populations. You can run analytics. You can find out where your hotspots are. You can find out, who's not getting their proper medication. You can also, find out, the price of an individual patient through risk stratification. Basically, what that means is by every time in real time, if somebody gets a new medication, if someone goes to a new facility, if somebody has an occurrence, all that information is automatically pulled into the system and analyzed, and they're given a risk score based on all these different elements. And you're able at a glance to look at a population, whether it's 10,000, 100,000, millions of people. You can find out who your high-risk members are, who your medium-risk members are, who your low-risk members are, and you can spend more of your dollars on those high-risk patients, trying to keep them out of the hospital, but also, most importantly, spend a lot of that money on your middle-risk, your medium-risk patients, trying to prevent them from becoming high-risk patients.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
That's the platform that we provide. So our clients are the payers, the insurance companies, these new platforms that are it's basically any organization that's managing a complex population that's taking on risk.
Does that include businesses? Does that include businesses that self-insure? So, in other words, they large businesses that just simply want to self-insure up to a certain amount, maybe a 50,000 or 100,000, whatever they decide to do it before they get a catastrophic plan. Are they using your platform as well, or is it only the large insurance companies?
No, you got it. I mean, it's anybody who's taking advantage of this new model, right? So self-insurers are at risk. I mean, they're the ones who the bottom line is affected. They have to provide the care. We work with a lot of self-insured employees. We work with unions. We work with Medicaid, Medicare, co-ops, which you're seeing now. You see every state is now having a co-op plan that's risk-bearing. Behavioral and developmental disability service agencies we're working with. Self-insured employees, as we talked about, home health, and some government agencies and municipalities.
Very interesting. So I'm assuming things are going pretty robust for you.
Yeah, well, we look at ourselves as the first end-to-end solution. I think we really helped pioneer. And, I appreciate you gave me the forum to explain that. But we helped pioneer the population health movement. Especially with having an end-to-end solution. We went to market about 9 months ago. We currently have about 100,000 lives that are being managed by our platform. In the next 3 months, we expect to be about 500,000 or 600,000, just based on contracts we have. And by the end of the year, we think we'll be at 1 million. But we're having discussions with all the major organizations out there, and we work closely with the government.
How small can a company be to use your services?
We work with a lot of organizations are still testing the waters in terms of this value-based care proposition. So some organizations are completely risk-bearing. I mean, you mentioned self-insure, employers. I mean, that's a good example of that. But then you see some of these much larger organizations that have millions of people, but they're not buying in just yet. So what they're doing is they're running out programs with 5,000, 10,000 members. There are new managed care plans that have to enroll. So they might come out with 500 patients off the bat, and they try to enroll new people into this new model of care, and they get up to 10, 15,000. So because our pricing is exactly in line with the incentive structure of how they get compensated, we actually scale up with the organization. So we'll work with an organization with 1,000 members, and we're able to be their partner and stay with them, as they grow. And as they grow, the population becomes larger, and our project becomes more expansive.
Okay, very good. Adam Sabloff, thanks so much for your time. The website to learn more is called virtualhealth.com. That's a really good name. I'm amazed you're able to get that. Congratulations.
I appreciate that. We got very lucky with that one.
You really did.
4 or 5 years now.
I can't believe you only spent $12 on that. That's pretty impressive. All right, but thanks so much for your time, and good luck.
All right, thanks a lot, Kevin. Appreciate it.
When we come back, much more for you. Do you want to remind you, best content here can be found over there at usdailyreview.com. Also want to mention that portions of today's program brought to you by Efficient Wealth management. Great articles that you can find exclusively at priceofbusiness.com, including our ongoing original podcast, recognized by iTunes as noteworthy and new by Colleen Mullen. Make sure you check that out. Coaching Through Chaos, plus great articles by Julie Braun on how to manage your finances and much, much more. Check them all out at priceofbusiness.com. More for you right after this on The Price of Business.